G'day all, Aubrey here. Well, Ryzen have finally updated Automobilista 2 with the much anticipated patch 1.6. Just quickly guys, before we start, if you can hit that like button, it really helps my small channel, and if you want to see more of my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos. 1.6 is probably the biggest patch that's ever come out since 2020, then Automobilista 2 came out. This one being probably the most substantial update that they've ever released since 2020. We've got updates to graphics, audio, physics and tyre updates. We've also got apparently further graphics updates coming later on in this game, which should be interesting too. They're going to refine the graphics even further with shadows and all sorts of things there. I'm not going to go into every single thing that's been released in this patch. There's also plenty of videos out there already that explain exactly what is in this patch. I'm not going to go through everything. You guys know what's been added. You can just read the patch notes if you want to see what's been added. But I'm going to cover the biggest things in this update, and that is what it's like driving in this game since the previous 1.5 patches. People just want to know if it does feel better and if overall the sim is worth buying. So I will cover the main content that's been added in 1.6. We've now got IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. We've got 3 new tracks. We've got Mossport, Road America and the much anticipated Sebring. Sebring is an extremely difficult track to learn. If you haven't already, you're going to have a lot of fun learning that track. It's a fantastic track, and AMS2's version of it is absolutely fantastic. We've also got Lamborghini entering in AMS2 finally. We've also got Audi entering as well. We've got new LMP cars added as well. We've got the new LMPH, the Alpine A424. Covered this car, which was a new mod from virtual racing cars in Assetto Corsa. They've added this car now to Automobilista 2, and it's excellent. It's fantastic. It's really good fun to drive. Very, very fast. And my favourite cars that have been added to this, some of the LMP2 cars. The LMP2 cars, I think, are actually going to be probably the most fun to race against online with real people. Also, if you want to play in the single player, the AI has been updated as well. I did a bit of a race during testing over the weekend with the LMP2 cars with the AI on Sebring. You'll see a bit of that in this video. Had a really fantastic time. I put the AI on 100. Always like to put the AI on 100%, especially if there's been updates to the AI. I'd like to see, you know, generally the AI at 100% is going to be where most people are going to be at, and that's a good baseline, so I always test the AI at 100%. First of all, I just want to talk about the graphics and the audio with Automobilista 2. AMS2 has always been fantastic in the graphics department, really clean graphics, really substantial performance gains in Automobilista 2 with virtual reality. VR is my go-to for sim racing, as you guys might know, most of you will know, and VR with Automobilista 2 is just absolutely amazing. And since recently upgrading to the MetaQuest 3, running at the max resolution, the graphics and visuals in VR and AMS2 are just absolutely amazing. Very happy with it. The audio has been updated in version 1.6 with AMS2, and the audio is even better than it was before. It was already pretty good before. Now it is excellent. It's probably even better now watching from trackside view, as you probably would have seen a bit in the intro there. The audio is excellent as well. They've really done very well with the audio as a whole. The whole user interface has all been changed as well. It's kept it, I like the way they've done this. They've kept it so people are going to know where everything is, but it just looks better. Everything pops, it looks better, everything is organised a lot better in the user interface as soon as the game loads up. Really like it. It just looks really clear and simple, and choosing a race and AI and cars and tracks, it's all the information there is that you need while you're choosing all this is on screen, very clear. I really do enjoy the new UI, it's fantastic. Also, in conjunction with version 1.6 with AMS2, we've now got low fuel motorsport. So guys, if you want really good or the best quality multiplayer racing with Automobilista 2, You want to get started with low fuel motorsport because that's where it's at. Should eventually see good clean racing with low fuel motorsport. It's definitely going to be a lot better than what you'll see in the actual game multiplayer servers. So if you want good multiplayer, you want to get started with low fuel motorsport. Now I'm going to start talking about the physics and tyres, the tyre model. All the cars in Automobilista 2 have been updated with a new physics and tyre model. And some cars definitely feel like they've improved a huge amount, and some not so much, but generally overall all the cars feel way better in AMS2. And if you were a little bit concerned about the physics prior, I think you should jump back into it now. There's definitely a noticeable difference. It is just enjoyable. I'm one of these people that enjoy all sims for the way that they are, the different characteristics of the way cars handle. I like to adapt to different sims. I'm not one for talking about whether or not the car should be the same as the real car in real life, because a lot of us don't know what a lot of cars are driving like. I certainly don't know what LMP cars are like to drive in real life. You know, they're going to be quite different. You know, they've got a lot of aero, the way those cars drive, they're going to be very different from a lot of cars that we've driven in real life. When it comes to physics and tyres, I can only comment on what I think you know, a car should feel like, and I think that's the way it is for everyone. I enjoy Automobilista 2 the way it is. I've always enjoyed it, and I do enjoy the updates that they're bringing to physics and tyres. I think that they're going the right direction. I always say that with their patches. They're obviously trying their hardest to try and make it drivable for everyone. They want to make it you know, a sim that everybody can jump into and just play and have fun with, and I think they're going the right way with it. Yes, sometimes some of the cars do feel very different. They can feel quite different to the likes of, say, R-Factor 2 or a Senna Corsa. But like I say, you know, some sims aren't for everyone. Automobilista 2 might not be for you. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say, you know, Automobilista 2 is slidey and whatnot. Yeah, some of the cars do, especially the GT3 cars. In my opinion, the GT3 cars don't feel like they've been updated quite as substantially as some of the other cars. They still feel great, don't get me wrong. I still really enjoy AMS2, but I don't want to go into too much detail on why it doesn't, you know, why it does or doesn't feel like a real car, because a lot of us haven't driven GT3 cars in real life. And I do think that all the cars have definitely made a huge improvement with the way they handle. I think I just think they're all fun to drive now. Some of the cars, and specifically the GT3 cars, do still have a little bit of a strange feeling that I don't notice with any other sim. One of the feelings is if you're coming into a corner and you're braking fairly hard, it feels like that you can control the back end sliding, especially with sort of rear wheel drive cars, but it feels like that you can control the back end sliding with the brake pedal. And this is even with the brake bias set to further forward, so we're only having minimal brake pressure in the back. It still does that, and it seems to do that more so with the GT3 cars. But again, I'm going to say these are only the things that I notice that are different from other sims, and it does not in any way make it less fun for me to drive these cars. I still have an absolute ball driving these cars. I just wanted to mention to people on what my thoughts are on the physics, and I think the GT3 cars do still have that little bit of a strange feeling, and they do have much more grip too on exit of a corner. They do feel a lot better with the physics and tyres. There still is something a little bit different going on while exiting a corner. Still feels like there is a little bit of a grip problem only for a certain amount of time. Game of Muscle talked about this a little bit, and I agree in a certain sense that say when you're exiting a corner and you're on the throttle, it feels like the back slides to a certain point and then stops. It grips, and it just feels a little bit different to other sims. And again, I'll say this is definitely not a game breaker. So to the people that think that AMS2 is absolutely perfect, Well, in my opinion, it's still one of my favourite sims to drive. It is excellent, but it still does feel a little bit different in some of these cars, like the GT3 cars, compared to other cars in the sims. And I'll compare GT3 cars. I'll always compare them to the likes of the GT3 cars, maybe that are come from Assetto Corsa Racing Studio. They've produced some absolutely stunning and amazing GT3 cars for Assetto Corsa, and I'll compare the GT3 cars in AMS2 to that, because in my opinion those GT3 cars that are paid mods with from Racing Studio are probably some of the best in sim racing, and I'll also compare them to, say, R Factor 2. I know a lot of people, I'm not a big fan. You know, everybody's got their favourite sim out there, but like I say, I drive all the sims and I love all their own little characteristics and the way they're different. Automobilista 2 is like that. You know, it can be a little bit different, but overall, the physics updates for all the cars feel way better and are just fantastic. I still have a lot of fun driving in AMS2 because of it. In my opinion, the best cars in AMS2 at the moment are the LMP2 cars. They are just extraordinary. The audio, the feel of driving these cars, the trackside audio of them, the way the physics are, the force feedback. Not one time do you feel like you're not in contact with the tyre and force feedback with these cars. The force feedback as a whole in the LMP cars, it just seem to be absolutely stunning and amazing. And my favourite of the LMP2 cars. I don't know about you guys. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think in the comments, but in my opinion, the LMP2 cars are the best in the game at the moment. They're just really good. I think they've done a great job with the Lamborghinis in the game too. Driven them all basically. The Huracan EVO 2, the GT3, Jed 2, the Super Trofeo Evo 2. They're all fun cars to drive, and Lamborghini have some unbelievably sounding cars with their V10 engines. Just sound fantastic. And I think they've done very well with the detail interior as well. Interior, exterior, the liveries. They look fantastic as well. I think Ryzen have done a really good job with AMS2's lighting. I think the day-night cycles look really good with the weather effects, the changing weather and day-night cycles during a race. Really look fantastic in this update, and better than ever. It's really impressive. So it really feels great now to set up a nice AI race to whatever track and cars you want. Set up day-night cycle. You can set weather to date and the speed of time. Basically, you can change everything now, and it just makes it so much more fun to set up a race and just set up your perfect race, you know, how you like it. Overall, guys, I think Automobilista 2 is still heading in the right direction, and now with LFM, I think that's going to help the multiplayer aspect of the game. I think it's the integration with low fuel motorsport is a great thing for Automobilista 2. I think that's going to work very well for it, because a lot of people want to have good online racing, and now with low fuel motorsport, it's going to happen with Automobilista 2. We've already seen some races on YouTube people have already recorded, and I just think it's going to be good. I think when people get used to LFM and Automobilista 2 integration, I think it's going to be really good for the game. Automobilista 2 is going to have everything eventually, I think, for what, you know, people want. I think it will have something that different people will want, and overall I think it is great value for money. I mean, I bought the Paddock Pass, which I think they've stopped now, which covered all the DLC for the game, and at that time when that was going, I think it was even better. I don't think the Paddock Pass is still going. But it also allowed you to have beta access as well for upcoming bigger updates. So even though I did have it, I hadn't at all done any testing with 1.6 since the previous 1.5 update to the public. I hadn't done any testing. I wanted to go into 1.6 fresh from what we've seen and felt before. I haven't tested it at all, and overall I think they've done a fantastic job of 1.6. Anyway guys, I've given you my thoughts and impressions of the patch. Like I said at the start, I don't want to go into everything with the update. I haven't driven every single car. I've driven a lot of cars. There's some cars that I probably won't drive until later on. I have driven a lot of the popular cars, and I'm basing my thoughts on as a whole package basically. So to cut a long story short, I think they've done a great job with the physics department and tyres. Overall the cars feel a lot better. So I do think it is worth getting, guys. I think you should get into it, especially if you're VR, if you like driving in VR. Automobilista 2 in VR is just absolutely fantastic, and with the new graphics and weather changing, the lighting, the lighting is a lot better. I think in VR it's just excellent overall package, AMS2. Anyway guys, I'll leave you with a bit more of a race, and we'll see some more internal of the LMP2 and some trackside there view. But guys, don't forget to hit the like button, helps my channel. If you want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you in the next one.